It was a good performance, but the rhythm was very inconsistent. And I think in a work of this monumental magnificence, that one must really keep the rhythm as controlled as possible. Yeah. There were certain passages that suddenly changed tempo. In fact, where I just stopped you, we always went into another piece in terms of the change of tempo.
Yes.
I think we should try and arrive at the correct or the tempo that you like and really stick to it. Apart from the fact that it gives a feeling that the piece is made up of many sections, which it is, but one of the great important things as a musician, particularly in a work of this nature, is to give the feeling that when you sort of heard the first note, you've almost heard the last note. You've got to give a wonderful overall sweep to the work. And the only way you can do that is integrate each musical section as smoothly as possible. I mean, it was rather like driving a car in your performance without a clutch. You know, okay, you got it into gear, but there was an awful lot of noise and shudder. The great thing is that it needs a great deal of clutch control, this piece, and so you've got to really try, by using tone colour and all sorts of artifice, to give the feeling that the piece in itself is one gigantic, magnificent, beautiful note. With regard to other aspects of the performance, it was a little bit pedestrian. It was a little bit... I mean, it was very solid, but you know, there again, at the very beginning, we were sitting down on ourselves instead of being lifted up by the whole ambience of that very simple but beautiful opening phrase. I tend not to be too determined at the beginning because there's plenty of other music later on which one could be very determined about. So I give it a little lightness, not flippancy, but lightness. And another thing, remember that there is a rest before the first note. So I always myself do this. Just a little nod of the head, or even take a breath, a tiny breath. It gets you into it, you see. But if you start going, the rhythm's lost. And very sustained. There. Do you notice how the tenor and bass, tenor and alto voices are lighter than the theme, and how I try to phrase it? If I can give you some idea, I'll do that again. Now you see, I didn't do that. Now listen to the bass. In reserve for the last entry, which is so magnificent. Now, we mustn't get faster as soon as we get into semiquavers, but control it. And now, the other thing is that these semiquavers must be light. They must ripple along. And you're using the thumb an awful lot, which is a very heavy part of one's anatomy, finger anatomy. I think if you use the fingers more, you see, phrase this with a legato. That's better. Yes, you see, out of one single strand of melody, we have a suggestion of a second. though there's only one strand of melody, there is a second voice implied. You see, da 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 dee da ti da dum, da 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 ti da dum. We want more of that effect, you see, in that opening semiquaver passage. Could you go from that semiquaver passage that we've just been doing? Yeah, do it as you do it for the moment. That's terrific. Carry on now, because this is the important bit. You see, this is where the rhythm goes to pop. You see, you suddenly go into another piece of rhythm. Look. Try again. Hold it. Keep it controlled. Good. Yeah. I think we want more of that entry, you see. I think that the opening of this new section should be light. Perhaps phrase it like that, just for a change. Now look, I don't use the thumb, only the fingers for lightness. The reason for that is this. Now listen to this. You see, the character of the thumb has such force or such strength, weight. There's much more weight.
Much more effect when you save it for
that.
that.
That's what I did. I saved it up, you see, and I let the other two voices just dance along, just using my fingers, and you know. Light,
Yeah.
and not these legatos. Sounds too much like Mendelssohn or something. Pluck them. All the way from there. Perhaps like that. Also make the top voices, the little chords, lighter, you see. Whatever it is. Oh, you know, I forgot it. That's right. Sort it out. Now, I think the thing ought to dance a bit now. Yeah. Really spring the rhythm. Yeah, and also we can get rid of that legato, I think. That's better. Don't rush. Hold it. Control it. Yeah. At that point, you know, I find the music a bit emotional for me, so I go up onto the third string. You see, like this. Get carried away. Nothing wrong with that. Now listen, the rhythm. It's a really martial entry, that. You see, I make that romantic, this bit. So it has terrific force and strength. You've got to use all the artifice that the guitar can give to give this work such stature. And not too